I believe! I believe! I believe that! I believe that! I believe that we! I believe that we! I believe that we will! I believe that we will! I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win! Outdoor
The common response is I came into it not wanting to be here. I wasn't looking forward to it, and I was dreading it. And by the end, I didn't want to leave because I realized it's a lot of fun. I learned more about myself than I would have ever guessed, and I made friends that I never would have otherwise. Originally, this is the 90th anniversary. Originally, this class was a requirement for the entire freshman class. And I think it's ranged in distances from, I think, 7 to 14 days. So originally they were out here. It was held in June. They would actually go home at the end of the year, come back a couple weeks later, do 2 weeks here, and then go home again. And it was created as a hard skill course for learning to be camp directors, teachers.
When I was a camper, it was 10 days, okay? And we had classes on campus before we came. So it was part of like an academic class. And then we came out, and at that time, the girls lived in the wooden structures that were made from the trees that blew down in the hurricane, and the guys lived up on the ridge in tents. But it wasn't much fun living in one of those things because the logs weren't cocked between and the wind would just blow right across you all night long. And we had to learn things like lashing furniture and other things, you know. I don't really remember the other class of that. I think we had canoeing and we had the cooking, and that we had to do most of our cooking over an open fire. We had one cook stove that you got a tank of gas for, and if you used it up, you were done. You didn't get another one.
Yeah, I mean, one, I think it's a very unique experience that's unique to Springfield College. It's the culmination of a first year where students have been exploring the ideas associated with our humanics philosophy, okay? And I think this experience at the culmination of that first year particularly is a great opportunity for them to put pieces together that were disparate throughout the academic year.
Outdoor pursuits, I think, is so essential to like Springfield College, and understanding how we get to spirit, mind, and body, and kind of how we incorporate the outdoors as well as educational, experimental education, and how that applies to real life.
It's much more than living in a tent for a week, much more. I mean, besides learning to live as a group of people that you're not necessarily that close to, for cooking and getting your meals and, you know, all that kind of thing. But I think for students right now, learning that you can live without a smartphone and an iPad and a computer for a week is probably, I think, the best thing yeah, that could happen this week.
A requirement for our staff is that they've taken the course. And the first question of every interview is, tell me about your outdoors pursuits experience. What we hear in those responses is, it's always remarkable. Stories of students saying that they didn't have a good experience for their entire first year at Springfield College and were in the process of transferring out. And as a result of doing this course, made connections, that forever changed the path of their lives.
You're able to sit here and reflect and not have your phone on you is a huge aspect of outdoor pursuits. We really just encourage you to be present and be where your feet are. And I think that taking the opportunity at the end of the year to sit by the campfire, sit at Cathedral, sit with your friends and just take a deep breath and say, wow, like I've made it and I've done it. My first year is under my belt, and whether you had good experiences or not, you're able to reflect. So I think reflection is a huge portion. It's just at the end of the year. It's a perfect timing. So camp is kind of your best self, I would say. So that's just a really important piece for me, and that's what I learned through Outdoor Pursuits, is that it was a place where I've always was accepted, and that people just rally around like a group, and then they want to explore, and they want to compete, they want to do their best, they want to try new things, get outside their comfort zone. I think that all of those things encompasses what kind of East Campus is about, and it's about the people and not the